Okay, we're up to Lamed Aleph Lamed Beis. We have 3 lines from the bottom. I'm in the sugya of kibbud of aim. Tanrabanan, Asa Moira of Asa kibbud. What constitutes Moira of aim, and what constitutes kibbud of aim? What's considered kibbud? What's considered Moira? So Moira means like Oma bim kobo. Moira means do not stand in your father's place. Lo yoshe bim komo, do not sit in his place. Lo so says the Barov, do not counteract his words. Lo machriya, and let's say he's arguing with someone, don't go ahead and be machriya and say you agree with the other person. That's so in other words, basically, yira is a lot of don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that. Kivod is Michael, you give him to eat, mashke to drink, malbish to dress, mechase, cover, machnis, bring in, moitzi, bring out. All these kinds of things I say that you could do. Opening a car door, closing a car door, going to the cleaners to bring clothing for a parent will be considered. Sorry, what?
Rabbi, where did you start from? I'm sorry.
Lamed Aleph on the base, in Masech the Kidushin.
You need to get his head out of the mikvah.
I got to get the other Gemara. 1 second.
Benji says to take your head out of the mikvah and start clearing up. Anyway, says the Gemara, Boilahu. Me shall me, when you feed your father or your parents, right? Whose expenditure does it come out of your pocket or your father's? Rabbi Yudami Mishal Ben from the son. Rabbi Nasim Bar Oishia Amar Mishal Av. It comes what from the father. Oirule Rabbanon Paskind, the Rabbi Yirmiyah, Vimila Lebraid Rabbi Yirmiyah, right? Command Amar Mishal Av, that it comes what from the father. Let's look at Taisvis, the second Taisvis. Early Rabbanon Rabbi Yirmiyah Command Amar Mishal Av, Mashma Shekach Halacha. Mashma, that's the halacha. The Chaim Pasach B'Shultis, the Chaim Pasach B'Shultis the Rav Achai, the Parshas Vayishma. Upasak hecha the lesle la'av. However, if the father does not have v'isle leben, but the son does have chayiv ben lazin of it, then the ben is chayiv to go ahead and support the father. So this, when it says that you have that the father, that we paskin that use the father's funds, that's provided the father has funds. But Mashenkin, if the father has no funds, then there's a mitzvah on the son to go ahead and provide for the father. Back in the Gemara, Meisivei. You say that the funds come from the father. Nemar, it says kabir savicha besinecha. V'never kabir es Hashem lahinecha. Mimechaber Hashem lahinecha, from from your possessions. Mala halon mimechaber HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from your possessions. It's speaking b'chisar and kiss. It's speaking where you are taking money out of your wallet. Avkan l'chayr, but the kibbud of aim also should be chisar and kiss. V'amim mishalav, and if you're going to tell me that what the money's from the father. My nafkalamina, right? Where's your monetary loss? In other words, you're making comparison to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it says clearly, serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu mehanecha, from your possessions. So it means you're taking your possessions. So l'chayra by kibbud avim also must be your possessions. But if you're using your father's to feed him and drink him his coin, then where's that? Says the Gemara, I'll tell you where that is. Even though it's his coin, levitul malacha. Yeah, levitul malacha. We're speaking about bitul malacha, where you would go ahead and lose money as a result of taking care of one's parent. In other words, that's where the chesar and kiss is. Einachinami, when it comes to the actual food and drink, if the father has, you provide from the father or the mother, right? We're speaking of both. Right? On the other hand, so where's the chesar and kiss to go ahead and equate to kavod Hashem yonecha? Where's the chesar and kiss? Is you take a monetary loss because you have to take, don't do this job, whatever. Don't do this job because it's in your kibbud of aim. Tashma. Beis achin shnei shutafin ha'avu b'noi ha'rabbi talmidai paidim zeh lezeh b'ma'aser sheni, and they don't have to get a chaimish. Okay, you know this. We spoke about if you're the owner of the ma'aser sheni, you have to pay the carrion plus an additional fifth or a quarter. And if any one of these situations, you would go ahead and be paida without eating a chaimish. Umachilin zeh lezeh ma'aser ani, and you can go ahead. They can feed each other ma'aser ani. V'i arme Michel Ben. If you're going to tell me that it's the son who's providing for his father, so therefore, you know what he can do, guys? He can give his father ma'asani. Nimsa ze pirei chayv mishal aniyim. He's paying his chayv using the money of aniyim. His father has to eat. His father's an ani. You have machilin zeh. I mean, if you have a chiyuv to go ahead and feed your father, where's the chiyuv on? Your guilt. It's the chiyuv's on your money. So what are you going to do? You're going to go, pirei, right? We always say the shayla is what the Maisa, can you use Maisa for this, the Maisa for that, right? Because we want to go ahead and we have to give the Maisa anyway, so we want to use it in a way that's kosher v'yasha. But not to use it in the correct way is wrong. So here, you have to pay, you're going to go ahead what? And take money from the aniyim and give it to your father? Says the Gemara, you're right. That's not what it's talking about. Says the Gemara, in other words, your father needs a little more. It's not kibbut of aim anymore. In other words, kibbut of aim is up to a certain point, right? So you have to provide him with a certain amount. Now he wants a little extra. That little extra can come from my son. So therefore, you're not being payreya chayv. Because what? There's no chayv on the hadafa. The chayv is on the initial meal. The hadafa, let's say the meal will cost $50, and he wants a $75 meal. So the $25 is not a chiyuv. So you're not paying off anything. So therefore, that you can pay with the maisani. If you're telling me that it's going on the hadafa, that we learned Allah Amrav Yehuda Tavay Me'era Lemisha Meichlas of Maisani. Cursed is the one who goes ahead and gives his father Maisani. Vila Hadafa my nafkamina. And if you're going ahead and the Av is an ani, right? The Av is an ani, and he's entitled to this. So where is what? Why is there a curse? In other words, he's an ani, right? And he's entitled to this. You with your regular food, your own pocket, and now you're giving him my sonny. So why's the curse? He's an ani. Some Rabbi Yehuda, so says the Gemara, I'll tell you where. So since he can give from his own money to go ahead and give your father money, my sonny, again, halachically, are you okay? You're okay. Is it the right thing to do? No. You got to use the fifth Kelech Shulchan Aruch, right? Pashma. Sholos Rebbe Eliezer ad heichen kibbut av ein. Until how far is kibbut av ein? V'im amar lahem kidei sheyitol arniki v'yisvekenu liyam. And if it means that you'll take the money and throw it into the sea, so he takes a wallet, he throws it into the sea, and he doesn't embarrass him. Mishalav my nafkal amina. So his father's throwing away his own money. It's the father's money. He's throwing it away. So we're Bishleim, if it's his money and he's throwing it away, and nonetheless why he doesn't get angry, that's a madrega. But telling me that what the father throws away his money, says I'm really Yarshay. Guess what? It'll come to him. The Chihod the Rabbi Rav Huna. Rav Huna Korish Shiroi Ba'anpei Rabbi Brei. So Rabbi Brei Rav Huna, very famous Amoira, his father Rav Huna ripped a silk garment in front of him. Omar, Rav Huna said to himself, Ezel Achsi, let me see Irasach. I want to see if he can get angry. Eloi Rasach, if you don't get angry. Let's say that what? You'll rip it up. He'll get angry. He might say something and be over the mission. In other words, getting angry is not the Aveira. Saying something to your father who ripped it is the Aveira. So in other words, you're setting yourself up. We spoke about yesterday, right? At a certain age, you can't go ahead and hit your son, because if you hit your son, you're setting it up. Says Gemara, the Mochaleli Kare, that he, Rav Huna, was Meichel on his covet. And therefore what? You don't have to worry. If he would have said something, it wouldn't have been a chesaron. In other words, he's setting him up. He wants to check out his midas. What are you worried about him saying something to his father? His father was Michael. He's Michael. Father was Michael beforehand. He was Michael beforehand. We'll see about Taisus in a second. Either Ka'avim Mishum Bal Tashkis, the other lay Bipum Bane. He ripped it l'cher on the seams, and therefore it's not destroying the beged, because it's easily it's amended. Says the Rabbi, don't Mishum Hakilay Rasach. Maybe that's the reason they get angry. It's no big deal. It's no big. Says, you lose a button, right? You lose a button, and you say, "Oh, 1 second, your suit. You never those annoying buttons that you have in your suit that you never use until the one time you need it, and I lost the button. There it is. So there he wasn't upset. Says the Gemara, if that's the case, then maybe that's why he didn't get angry. Says the Gemara, Rabbi was already a little tense about something else, and he was checking him out. The question is can a father be Michael on his covet that if the son's going to say something to him? Mm-hmm. Right? So look. In other words, does the son know he's Michael or not? Yeah. So therefore, the son did something wrong. So look at Taisvis, the second Taisvis in the bottom. The Machal Yilikare, he was Michael on his covet. Rav Huna, that he informed him beforehand. Shouldn't be like you want to eat chazer, and lo and behold, you ate lamb. So he had to tell him. So Taisa says he had to tell him. So he had to tell him. So where's the again? In other words, he told him, but still wouldn't stop him from getting angry. If he ripped up something that potentially belonged to him. The Ritva says, and this is Lashon, ve'efsha, the belav delifnei iver, loisite michshal, kimishu lav kailo. It's a lav shebeklalis, loy machmirin kulei hai, v'sharinim b'hachi k'delin and slaisla yuladricha b'derech yishara. In other words, it's possible that the lav of loisite michshal is a very general lav. It's not like a specific, it's very general. We have a rule, like the Rambam says, you don't get malchus on lav shebeklalis. So therefore, maybe because it's more makeldik, one would be permitted to go ahead and set up for potentially being over lav in order to be madrachim l'derech hayasha by being mitakin his midas. Obviously, Rahun is checking him out. He wants to check out to see that his midas are intact, or he needs hadracha. Okay. Bottom line is we weren't placed that shaila. Masti lo Rav Cheskel Rami Berei, and we paskin, but we question it. We paskin that what from the father. Masler Rabbi Yecheskel Rami Brei. Rabbi Yecheskel asked Rami, his father, Rami, to his son. He asked his son Rami. So Rabbi Yecheskel had two sons, Rami and Rabbi Yehuda. Okay, and Rabbi Yehuda is the famous Shinana. I'm Rabbi Yehuda Marav, I'm Rabbi Yehuda Mishmuel. Shinana, the sharp one. These were the children of Rabbi Yecheskel. So he went ahead and he asked Rami, his son, Hanisrafim bin Iskalim. Okay, now just the derech hakdama. We know there are Abramis's Bezdin, Skila Sreifa Herg Chenek. There's Machloikis, which exactly are the most chomer. So what we need is the first two. We paskin Skila is the most chomer, but Shimon's of the opinion that Sreifa is more chomer. If you get murderers mixed together, or Bali Averis, some people who are murder is not the right way because they're not even Chayiv Sreifa is Skila. People who are Chayiv Sreifa, people who Chayiv Skila, depending on which one is the least, that's the one you'll give. You can't give someone the least more severe. You could give someone more severe, less. What about kapara? Okay, that's Hashem's judgment. But you can't give somebody more. So now, hanisrafim bin iskolim. It's mashma. That's the roiv guys. The roiv are the skila, correct? And the nisrafim are getting mixed into the niskolims. The niskolim are the roiv. They're the majority. Reb Shimon Omer. Yadoinoi b'skila, give him skila, which is the least. Shasreifa chamura. Amalei of Yehuda berei Abba said Reb Yehuda to Rav Yecheskel, Abba leitisnaya hachi. Don't learn like that, guys. This is the reason we brought this in, only because of the retort of Rav Yehuda to Rav Yecheskel. Again, we're going to do the Gemara, but that's the one line you needed, the way you spoke to him, right? So Amalei Rav Yehuda berei Abba leitisnaya hachi. My area Sreifa Chamura, typically the Ruven is Ninu. If you're telling me the reason you're going to get skila is because it's Makuladik, that's not the reason you're getting skila. Since the Nisrafim got mixed into the Niskalim, and the Niskalim are the Roiv, go after Roiv. So in other words, he's telling him, if that's the case, Ella, Hachi Isnaya, here's the way you should learn it. Haniskalim bin Nisrafim, the Roiv on Nisrafim. The Roiv on Nisrafim. And in that case, since the Rav and Esrafim, the only reason you're going to get skila, even though it's the minority, is because it's the more kuladik. It's the more kuladik opinion. That's the reason. It's the most kuladik opinion. Amalei hachi ema seifa the chachamim oimin. The chachamim say yodainoi b'sreifa she'askila chamura. You get sreifa because skila is more chamur. Ma'iri the skila chamura tepelei the Reuben Esrafim. You know the same kasha. Says Mamalei Hasim Abanu who the Kamil of Shimon. Now, really, the case is speaking where the skull got mixed in with the Srafim. The Kami that you say Sreifa Chamura, Loy Skila Chamura. It's really Skila is Muhammad. Bottom line is Amalei Shmuel of Yehuda Shinana like Tamalei Lavuchach. You don't speak to your father like that. It's telling like Snaya Hachi. The Tanya. If you see a person sees his father being over on the Torah, Al Yoimaloi Abba Avart al Divrei Torah. Abba, you even the Torah. Elohim Eloi Abba Kach Kosev b'Torah. Right? This is what is written in the Torah. It says the Gemara Kach Kosev b'Torah. It's Surah Kamet. If you say it in that way, you're going to pain your father. Elohim Eloi Abba Mikra Kosev b'Torah Kach. You say Mikra Kosev b'Torah Kach. V'Oim Eloi HaMikra, and you write the way it's written. and he'll understand by himself. In other words, you don't tell him your father, you just say a pasuk, and then you see your father is over Shabbos, so you say Pashas V'Yakol, it's a Leisasum Lacha. So you're not being very direct, you're alluding to, and he'll get himself. If you have your father to go ahead, a chance to go ahead and do give your father a drink and a mitzvah to do. I leave covered of my father. I says a mitzvah and I do the mitzvah. Shani va'aba chayavim b'mitzvahs, because we're both chayavim the mitzvahs. Isi ben Yehuda Omer, emefshal l'mitzvah lasa yidei acherim, teyasa yidei acherim. If it's possible to get someone else to do the mitzvah, go ahead and do it. V'yelechu b'covered of it. Amarav masna halachka isi ben Yehuda, that get someone else to do the mitzvah, it's possible. That's mashma that the mitzvah is dafka mitzvah veres, guys. That mitzvah is going to miss that if you don't get someone else to do the mitzvah and you mechaber your father. A father that's meichel on his covered is covered as meichel. You have your, I'm sure it happens to you all the time. You walk into your house and your son stands up for you, right? And then you woke up. Right? No, you know, if your kids learn something and they stand up for you, so you go, excuse me?
Not you take it up out of your chair.
Okay, but again, my children never sit in my chair, and my children stand up for me, and I tell them no. I said I'm once a day. That's it. I say once a day. That's it. Once a day. And when they started referring to me in third person, then I said, "Got to stop.
Yeah,
got to stop. Got to stop."
you refer to yourself.
What? Yeah. Well, Daddy says. I said, Daddy says to stop calling me Daddy. It's just because you. Okay, but again, so Av shemach like kvoide kvod is Michael. A Rav shemach like kvoide ain't kvod Michael. A Rav that's Michael is covered not Michael. So let's say you have a Rav. Let's say someone teaches you Torah, and for some reason you I don't know, you don't treat him correctly. If he's Michael, it's not Michael. Not Michael. Let's go over this again. Now, Rabbi Yosef, I feel a Rav shemach like kvoide kvod Michael. I feel a Rav that's Michael and kvod covered is Michael. Shnemar Hashem hoylech fneiam yoimam. And Hashem went in front of them. It's mashma that Hashem going in front, he was meichel on his cover by going in front. Amarav v'hachi hashta. Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you know, you're saying 1 second. You're saying, what's your raya? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu is meichel on his cover, the cover is covered by the din of a rav, so memela, you have a raya. So you have a raya. Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu alma dilehu, the world is his. Tari dilehi, the Torah is his. Machalei likari, he can do what he wants. It's his game. He can do what he wants. Hacha, Tari dilehi, over here, is it his Torah? Says Rashi, pick me up. Hakavod tali b'Torah, v'eni yachal nimchal hakavod ha'Torah. Shishal Kadosh Baruch Hu. The Torah belongs to Hashem. If you learn Torah, so l'chayra, how could you be meichel on it? It's not your Torah. Says the Gemara, Amarava, no, in Torah delehi, it is your Torah. You know why? Because it says in the Torah, Ki im b'Torahs Hashem cheftzai. In the Torahs Hashem he desires, u'b'sayrasai yegeh. So in the beginning it says Torahs Hashem, and then we call it Yegeh, and then you say what? Ubetayrasai. You see that what? Ubetayrasai Yegeh becomes his Torah. So Einachinami, your time is not correct. It is his Torah. So if he wants to be Michael, he can be Michael on his Torah. It says, is it really so? Rav, you can be Michael on your Torah. Is it really so? Rava Mashke Behilula Debrei. Rava was pouring drinks at the wedding of his son. The Dale Kosler Papa, he poured a Kosler Papa. Rav Huna brave Yeshua. The Kamu Mikame, and they got up in front of him. The Rav Mori, Rav Pinchas, brave Rav Chista. He poured drinks for Rava poured drinks for Rav Pinchas, the son of Rav Chista, and Rav Mori. The Kamu Mikame, and they didn't get up. Ikbid. Rava got upset at Rav Mori and Rav Pinchas, brave Rav Chista. Yama. Hanu Rabbanan, V'hanu Rabbanan, lo Rabbanan. In other words, you're chashiv, right? You're Rabbanan, that you don't have to stand up, and the other ones who did stand up, not Rabbanan. The Surah Papa, Havi Mashke Be'alula. So in other words, we're building up to a kasha. You see that what? How can you say Rav Shemach Michael? You see, if it's Michael covered, then why does he makbid? In other words, Rav El Chayr is be Michael on his cover. He's pouring drinks. So in Achanami, if you're Michael on covered, so why should we stand up? But he was makbid. In addition, Vesura Papa Vimashki Be'alula Debama Brave Vidali Lekisla of Yitzchak Brave of Yehuda like Kamik Kamei Ve'ik, but he got angry. So you have a kasha. You see that what a Rav Shemach like for the Enk for the Michael. Even when he's Michael in the covet, give him the little, the like this. You see the Rabbi coming, you go like this. You like a twitch, go like this. So go like this. Instead of standing up, you go like this. So that's what they should have at least done that. I didn't do that. But Rav Shemachal Kvoid the Michael. I'm Ravashi. I feel man Yama Rav Shemachal Kvoid the Michael. Nasi Shemachal Kvoid and Kvoid the Michael. Now Nasi is a direct descendant from the Melech, right? Of Gamliel. The Nasi can be Michael on the covet. Meisabei Eliezer Yeshua Berev Tzadik. Shem Mesubin, not in Bnei Brak. Bnei Sa Mishnah, Bnei Shel Rabbi Gamliel. They Mesubin in the Mishnah by the son of Rabbi Gamliel. And who was the Nasi? Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel Oimeid Umashka Leim, and he was pouring the drinks. Nasan Lakais Rabbi Losi gave Rabbi Losi the kais. And Rabbi, guess what? You know why? He can't go ahead. No, it's not talking. It's talking about some drinks during the meal. It's not speaking about benching. Right. It's speaking about like, how can I go ahead and have Rabbi Gamliel Mishash me? Right? I smell when it's covered, and I won't take the cup. Nasan Rabbi Yeshua Bekiblo. He gave it to Rabbi Yeshua Ben Chanan, and he took the cup. I'm a Larry Eliezer Ben Hurkinis Maz Yeshua Anu Yashim Rabbi Gamliel Oimid Umashka Leim. So in other words, he's the Nasi. So Amalei. So Yeshua told him, "Tzinu Gadol Mimenu Shishimit." You see, a greater person than Gamliel was Mishamish. Avram Gadol Hadar Haya. Avram was the Gadol Hadar, and now it says the Marsha, he was also the Nasi. Why did the Bnei Ches tell him? Nisi Elokim Atav B'Sarcheinu, right? So he was a Nasi. Avram was the Gadol Hadar. He was a Nasi also. So therefore, L'chaira, he could be Marchman is covered. But who I made Aleihem by these people who are the Arabs? He thought they were Arabs. Maybe Avram stood over them because he knew they Malchei Hashares. Like says Gemara, they were Arabs. I know Ishmael wasn't born yet. Have to be Arabs, right? Okay, so you see, Arabs is a name for a Bedouin tribe. It's named for the people who live in the desert. They worship dust. We shouldn't have Ravana breathing is another Gadol. So in other words, said Rabbi Yeshua, if Avraham Avinu could be Michael, so we can. I'm Rabbi Tzaddik. I must say, Atamanichin Kvoidish Shal Makim, we had to Oiskim B'Kavod Abrius. Forget about Avraham Avinu. Why do you have to bring a raya from Avraham Avinu? I'll bring a bigger raya. I bring a raya from Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Right? Hakadosh Baruch Hu Mashiv Ruchais Umalin Nisiyim. He causes the winds to go. He causes the clouds to be lifted. Umarid Mata Umatzmiach Adama brings down rain, dew, causes growth. V'Orich Shulchan makes the table full. So who's being Mishamishas? Who's being? So why do you bring a raya from Abraham? You can bring a raya from Abraham and a bunch of Shloim. So therefore, what do you see? Nasi Shemachal Kvaydai, Kvaydai Michael. Nasi Shemachal Kvaydai, Kvaydai Michael. Melech Shemachal Kvaydai and Kvaydai Michael. A Melech that's Michael is covered. It's not Michael. That was Shaul's problem. Melech can't be Michael is covered. Shnemar Soim Tasim Alecha Melech Shetei Mascha Alecha. In other words, the Riffa says that if he would be Michael, right, then you see that what? Then his fear would not be mutal on the Brias. His fear, what? Yeah. So therefore, it won't be mutal on the Brias. And the Charis, I'll ask the Kasha, guys, what's the Kasha? HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Michael on his covet. And the answer is HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Michael on his covet, but he told you the Melech, Soim Tasim Alecha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could be Michael on his own covet, but in the Torah, what did he tell you? He told you a Melech can't be Michael on his covet. That's the Deher over here. You use the same Taina, right? So because Baruch Hu's Michael on his covet, Mashav Ruach, Meragoshem, and everything, right? And brings us Shulchan Aruch and everything. That's what Kadosh Baruch Hu's decision. The same Kadosh Baruch Hu does that. It's the same as his Soim Tasim Alecha Melech. The fear should be on you, and the male, if he's Michael in the covet, then your fear is not going to be on you. It's a chesaron. What? He served Israel. I don't know. Again, maybe the Torah. I don't know. You can make a din of Melech, but Melech. I don't know. There's now we get to a new mitzvah. Mifnei Seivah Takum. There's a mitzvah of Mifnei Seivah Takum. The exact lashon of the pasuk is, again, this is brought in because of Yira. We're being in Yira, so the connection between Yira Savaim is the following pasuk. They say v'takim in front of a seva, you should get up. V'darta pnei zaken, you should give splendor to pnei zaken. V'yaresim elokecha ani Hashem, you should fear. You fear ani Hashem. Okay, let's see. We're going to break this up into 2 days. Today, I'm going to do tomorrow. Bez Hashem, tomorrow we're going to have 2 shiurim, one earlier, one later, and again, whoever can come on can come on. We'll see. Says the Gemara. If they say v'takum, yachal afilim pnei zaken ashmoy. Let's say he's a zaken that, according to Rashi, is a Rasha. According to Tosfos, he's an Amoretz. Tamalim is zaken. Bein zaken el chacham. A zaken is someone who's a chacham. And ashmoy, a fool, is not a chacham. Shneimar es v'lishiva ish miziknei Yisrael. So you have a limud. It says if they say again, whether it's a kal v'chaim, whether it's a gzeir shav or memetzinu, a limud. You're learning out what that just like Kadosh Baruch Hu said, "Give me 7 ziknei Yisrael," and there they were very, very chachamim. So in Mela ziknei over here, if that is zaken, it's also someone who's kind of chacham. As chachma. Rabbi Yossi says a little different, guys. Look at the lashon of Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Yossi hagiliyam ein zaken elamisha kind of chachma. The zaken, the guys, is nutrikin zeh kana. Zaken, guys, zeh kana. That's nutrikin, the contraction. Zeh kana, the one that's kind of chachma. What the difference between the two? We'll see. Right? Both seem to say that you can't stand up for a fool. Shneimar Hashem kanani reishis darkoi. Hashem, He has what? He's acquired me at the onset of the journey. I might think you stand up for Torah in makam rachaik from a distance. It says get up and show hidur. Which is dalet amis, guys. Dalet amis. I might think that what? You'd have to give up money to go ahead and give him kavod. Getting up and showing hidur. Just like getting up, you don't take a monetary loss. So to hidur, where you don't take a monetary loss. I might think you have to get up when you're in the basic kis. And in these places, it's not bringing any hidur. I might think you close your eyes to make believe you don't see him. I'm going to ask about dealing with Russia. Talking via Resa against via Resa Malakecha. Dava Maisa the Lave. Nemar, it's giving over to something given over to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It says via Resa Malakecha, and those Hashem is going to know whether you close your eyes to avoid it or not. If Hashem Allah Zayin Minayin LeZakin Shlei Atricha, how do you know the Zakin should not be matriach people? He should try to avoid. Hamalema Zakin via Resa. It says Zakin via Resa. That Zakin also should show Yira. Okay. Isi ben Yehuda. I remember if they save a takum, I feel it called seva b'mashmai. Even a Zakin Hashmai. Isi ben Yehuda saying even a Zakin Hashmai. He's arguing on the Tanakama and Rabbi Seglili. He said anyone who's old, you stand up for any old person. Rabbi Seglili said the same as the Tanakama. Again, I was the Lashon. Tanakama said Zakin, and Rabbi Seglili said that's the kind of chachma. Good. It could be nayu yonik v'chacham. The difference would be, fellas, if he's young and a chacham. Tanakama sava yonik v'chacham loy. He's got to be a zaken. Rabbi Yossi aglili sava afilu yonik v'chacham. Zesh kind of chachma. We don't go after his age. My time Rabbi Yossi aglili. That again, you have two components, right? Age is not a component, just chachma. That dafka zaken v'chachma. Tanakama in Cain nichda v'chmana. If they save a zaken. Not we say if they save a takum, v'dat to pnei zaken, and the zaken is the latter part of the pasuk. But if according to you, the only criteria is zaken, same if they save a zaken takum, v'adarta, and it's shine, he's a zaken. So and zaken means chachma. So therefore, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Why did you break up seva and zaken 2 different places? Says Maishna the Palgin Rachmana. Why did you go mistake seva talking about that when it's zaken 2 different places? Lamema the high lav high, the 2 different people. Right, one is zaken, one is younger. As long as there's chachma, says Mishmaim. I feel young for chacham. The Tanakama. What's the reason that the Tanakama said they did break it up? Mishum de boile mismach zaken v'yaresa. We want the word zaken next to the word v'yaresa. We want to learn out that what's zaken. The fear of zaken is, as we're going to see, that you have to stand up for him. Tanakama my timer. That's the reason Tanakama says only 1 and not 2. Isa that Kedam Rav Yosef Glili, even young that's kind of kara. Amid Aleph and Kain Nichta Rachmana. They say talking verdarta peisakin. You should say what? It should say the following. It should say when they say talking verdarta kama talking verdarta peisakin. So you know that what is hidden giving to a seva and hidden giving to a zakin. Umid the luxiv hachi Shema Mino, that Chadhu, it's all one thing. Shema Mino over here, you hear what? It's all one thing. Okay, very, very geschmack. Okay, I thought, guys, this evening, since it's you have a few minutes, I went by a little fast. I have a piece I think I did it last year. It's a real game changer for Rosh Hashanah. It's a real game changer. It's a whole, it really gives you a whole different way of davening Rosh Hashanah. It'll take us maybe 10 minutes to do. I think it's Kedai. I put it out there. It's on your phones. It's on your phone. I hit the wrong thing. Yeah. No, I hit the wrong thing. Okay. Okay, so what's it? Okay, this is the first one, but there's a second one there too. The page where it says 396, guys. There's two over there. You see the one that says 396? You could all see this, right? Kenny, you can see this? The Bito Ray.
397 on the screen.
What?
396.
396 it should be.
Says
Not 397. You don't see 390. You see 397?
Yeah.
Correct.
What?
Second one is 396.
Do you see 396 now? No? Okay, let me see what I could do here. Hang on a second. No, that's not what I wanted. Now you see 396? No? You'll see it in a second. Now you see 396? Okay. Yeah. But Peter A. Eich tiknu lanu kamonenu zal tfilas Rosh Hashanah. Shenis kane rak al bakoshes kover hashchina. The whole tefillah on Rosh Hashanah, the nusach tefillah, is all about bakoshes HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sheyiskal kfoidoi, that his covet should be revealed. V'tira malchusai, and his malchus should be seen. Ki elalanu lahakel uvlamed, we should get together and stand. Al nafshenu b'yom adin agadol v'anoira hazeh. This is the Yom Adin. This is we're being judged. And what should we be doing? Levake slicha umechila v'chayim umazayin ubanim. All our needs. Ki milay nifka kayom hazeh. Who's not being remembered on this day? So he's asking a kasha. On Yom Kippur, on Rosh Hashanah, all you do is daven for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to be mamlech HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and on Yom Adin, you don't make any bakashas for yourself. Zero. Umasham Rizal, Shloila Haskeh Shum Chet V'Oven Rosh Hashanah, Shloila Adin, that on Rosh Hashanah we shouldn't mention, fellas, any avera that we did. In Chas V'Shalom, to be ma'ira, to arouse the din against us. Ulachayru Hu Behepech. It makes no sense. It's the opposite. Shari Amru Maida B'Kanas Pata. If we admit that we did wrong, we'll be Pata. V'Aimem Maida V'Aizim Yeruchim. If you admit your Aveira V'Aizim and you forsake it, you'll be forgiven. You'll have mercy. So why in the world are we told don't mention on Rosh Hashanah any Aveira? So two questions. One's the Nusach, all about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sveitens, why don't we, a day that would make a lot of sense for us to be going ahead and asking for ourselves, we don't. But if we don't say anything, hey, let me ask you, who's going to speak up for us? But like common mastinim, every avera we do, we create malachim who are plaintiffs who are going ahead and prosecuting us. And they're opening their mouths on the Yom Adin, and there's no defendant, there's no one to answer them. Gewaldige kasha, guys. Gewaldige kashas. Acha inyan, k'mashakasa b'zar HaKodesh, vayihi hayom da. This day, Yuma Dedina Yuma, the Rosh Hashanah, v'yavo b'nei Elohim, l'syatzev el Hashem, vaday l'mitva el boinam. They're coming to go ahead and ask for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's embarrassment. The kulat savche, the whole world is screaming, Havli chai, give me life, Havli mezayni, give me food, Havli slicha kapara, give me forgiveness. V'ein is som alev levakesh al boina demare. And who is thinking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu on this day? Everyone thinking about themselves and not thinking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu situation. Ushemoi hamachol begoyim. His name is profaned among the goyim. Kimodat Amar Kiyad al Keska, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name is not complete yet. She'ein Hashem Sholem ve'ein Akisei Sholem. Ve'akol b'avoneinu, it's all because of us. V'efa yayis ha'odam, how can a person have chutzpah panav levakesh al nafshoy, v'yisratzel nafshoy, mitoyves oilam hazeh, ki ken yistoy lanu bekinus, right? The lashon of kinus, atma al nafshi, eich yerav l'nafshi, ech aloi, eich mara, so on and so forth. The bottom line is, the kasha is a gewaldige kasha. The kasha is, hey, why is everything about HaKadosh Baruch Hu that day? Not by us. It should make sense that we should go ahead. And if we don't do it, who's going to do it? Says the Zoyar, there's a big katrig and Shemayim connected us. We come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and say, gimme. Havli Chaim, Havli Messiah, Havli Bonim, Havli. And the Malachim say, they only care about themselves. They're so narcissistic. They don't care at all about you, Rabbi Shalom. Let's go to the underlined word now. V'chein loy nafke ish achrei negel levavay levakesh b'nei chai u'mezayne lios chetzvin kalbei debezer nesoires adin rak. Let me see. Let me get a little more. Okay. See what we got.
I got a guy in the big one.
What?
I got a guy in the big one.
You got a guy? No. I gotta find this. I will share screen. It's gone. Wait a sec.
297.
I know I gotta get it. I don't need 396. I don't need. No, I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. I have to get this up. No. Are we in business? 397? Okay. So now what do we do? Nachshlich es kol hadvarim hanageim lanu. We throw away everything that's nagaya to us. Achrei gava yaver aleinu ma'yiyah ma'shiyah. Whatever's going to be with us is going to be with us. Whatever's going to be with us is going to be with us. Rachnis marmar kulanu b'meriris libenu. We go ahead and literally embitter our hearts. Veinenu and our eyes. Tered dimma, they bring tears. V'afa pov yiznu mayim, water dripping off our eyelids. Al hadar kavod alakenu, the glory of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, ashegola, that it's no longer there. All you have to do, guys, is go up to Har HaZeisim and look down and see a mask on the Makom HaMikdash. And if you can't cry, then you'll never cry. V'ashenoitel kavod mi beis chayenu v'teferes malkeinu. All HaKadosh Baruch Hu's house is gone. The teferes of his malchus is gone. Ulechein, therefore, since the whole purpose of Rosh Hashanah is to answer the taina of the malachim, that you know what, we don't care about ourselves this day. We care about you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, ulechein leitiknu lanu chazal loimer betfilas Rosh Hashanah shum ba kosher al slicha v'kapara u'mizayne rak tefila kitzara al ba kosher schayim. Guys, the only thing we ask for is what? What? Oh, why? Because Melech Hafetz B'Chaim. Because you want us to say it. You want us to say it. So the only thing we ask for is Chaim. You know why? The Gam Zeh Lefisher it's Sinai B'Kach. It's your Ratzon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'zeh Mashakosaf Melech Hafetz B'Chaim. In other words, the only thing we ask for is life. But the reason we ask for life is because you, Hashem, want us to ask for life. That's part of it. You want us. You want us to Melech Hafetz B'Chaim. Dimloi came because if not, you were wanting us, Hashem. Lo yinu me'izas panenu. We wouldn't have the chutzpah levakesh mimcha to ask for anything from you. Gamal chayim. We wouldn't even ask for life. Rak shechafatz b'chayim. Only because you desire our life. Rak kula miyoistais al hadars kavod alkeinu. The nusach hatfila is instituted what on the glory of Hashem. V'zeu ma shekasav u'b'chein tein pachtecha your pachad v'yerucha v'yishtachavu u'b'chein tein kavod la'amecha shesimcha le'artzecha v'sasin le'irecha. Everything you v'timlech ata Hashem levadecha v'hu ka'odem ha'omer Rabbeinu shel olam harba yesh lanu levakesh al nafshenu. We have so much to ask for. V'al nigei levav kol ish v'ish. Each person according to their own tsar, their own needs. Everyone's got. Everyone's got his pekel. Everyone. And really, we should be asking for it in the Yom Adin. But that would be chutzpah. That would not be right. That would be caring about ourselves, being narcissistic, and not caring about the Rabbeinu Shalom. The ish ki leiv yadei moras nafshay ki tzorchi amcha merubim rak kol zeh in a shavalanu. None of this is worth it to us. B'zacharti es kovet shimcha hamachul bagoyim. When we think about what you're going through, Hashem, whatever we're going through pales in comparison. You created a world, and what's your world like? Look at the United States. What is the world? Hashem's world. What the heck is going on? It's so crazy. Yeah.
This is beautiful. This is how Esther davened. She went when she went to before Ahasuerus. She said, if it wasn't the fact that it's like our lives at stake, I wouldn't even bother the king.
It's
And that's the Ram says that's why we say that's the beginning of the Shmona Esrei. How do we open up? We say I need a buzzer.
okay. Let's go. Kitzorchi amchem rubim rak kol zeh eino shavalanu b'zacharti es kavod shimcha. Right. V'adon gu zecha kinesmata. It's gotten diminished. V'shem tefartecha u'mayrecha ki hayrid. V'zeh ikka b'kashasenu. V'yeda kol pa'ul ki ata pe'altoi. We should all know that what HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'yavin kol yitzur ki ata yitzato. U'malchusoi b'chol mashallah. It's unbelievable. U'bezeh yiftach kol ish v'ish. Asher yivcha. Every person who can cry. V'izmara b'yom hadin hagadol. And he can get aroused and embittered on this great day. V'anoy razeh. Al hakavana asher amarnu. V'yashtich be'es hazois es nafshay min neged. And he could throw away his own desires and needs. V'yavar love masha yavar. And whatever's going to be is going to be. I'll deal with it on Yom Kippur. Whatever's going to be is going to be. Shebevadai chetav lo yaskiroid. His averis won't be mentioned anymore. Lo yala alev lo olam. And v'yisachru pi hamastinim hamakatregim. Every makatreg is going against him. Their mouths are going to be shut. Of love l'ra. V'zeh ma she'amru, guys. Darshem Shumais. Ani l'doidi, v'loidi li. Pirish. Kishalayia bekasi called me gamasrak l'doidi. When I don't ask for myself and my whole desire and emotion is HaKadosh Baruch Hu k'mo shamarnu oz doidi li. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be for me. For who kisham chazal hispal al chaveroi v'utzarch le'sei davar unenach tchila. Someone who goes ahead and davens for his friend and he needs the same thing. He's going to be answered first. The Gemara in Baba Kama, right? Avram Avinu davened for Avimelech. And Avimelech had to have children. He had to have children. He had the same need. He was answered first. So Mamela comes out so beautifully, guys. Beautiful. The whole nusach of Rosh Hashanah is not about you. There's no Hashanah. There's no Vidui. None of it's about you. They were attacking it. This is Davudraham. They were attacking this. They were metaking this nusach atfilah. The focus should be Hashem. When you speak about making Hashem the melech, you know what it means? It means that your focus that day, our focus is the Rabbeinu Shalom, not ourselves. Nothing about ourselves. It's all about you, Hashem. And the only to bakash about yourself is the kasvenu v'chayim melech havetz b'chayim, right? That you should go ahead and remember us only because you want us to. It's your ratzin. I wouldn't even ask for it. I won't have the chutzpah to ask for it. I'm only asking because you want me to. Guys, it's a game changer. It's a whole game changer. The tefillah becomes a different tefillah. You don't have to think about your veris. You don't have to think about this. You don't think about being a new person. All you have to know Hashamnus. You think about the Rabbeinu Shalom and only about the Rabbeinu Shalom. And the Mela. Since this is the day you should be thinking about yourself, it should be, and you don't think about yourself. You think only about the Kodesh Baruch Hu. You muftach about the Kodesh Baruch Hu. You should be zeicha to ksivach simitayva. Good keep and shar. Share besuras tayvus from everybody. Everyone should be zeicha to gesund. Parnas and nachas. Chol nishal islecha should be answered the shalom.
He knows what he means.